Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Karina from Paradigm Thrifts. Happy New Year! I hope you all had a wonderful holiday and got to spend some time with your family and your loved ones. I definitely enjoyed my time with my family. I'm actually currently still on a YouTube break for the month of January. I'm still doing all my reselling stuff, but I decided to step away from YouTube just for this month, just so that I can figure out my plan for the year when it comes to social media as well as running my reselling business. This is the only video that I'm going to be putting out this month, but I definitely wanted to get this up because I'm going to be sharing with you guys one of the goals that I have for the new year, and I'm going to share with you guys how I plan on achieving that goal. So in 2022, one of my biggest goals for my reselling business is that I want to hit $10,000 in total sales in 1 month. Now, my highest sales month to date was actually this past October. I made $6,671 across all platforms. So that was mainly Poshmark, but I made some Mercari, eBay, and Tradesy sales that month as well. I'm hoping that I can hit this goal by October of 2022. That'll give me approximately a year between my highest sales date and my goal sales date. Maybe I'll reach it sooner, or fingers crossed. In order to make this big scary goal a reality, I need to make a plan. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, how I plan on achieving a $10,000 sales month. Now, I'm going to be sharing some equations and my whole process on how I plan on doing this, but I'm going to be using my numbers from all of the data that I've collected over the past year. If you guys want to apply these equations and this whole thing onto your business, feel free to substitute in your own numbers. I'll let you guys know exactly where you can do that when we get to that part, but feel free to draft your own plan for how you are going to reach your sales goals as well. If you guys don't mind sharing, I'd love to hear what your big scary goals are for 2022, and hopefully we can keep each other accountable this year. So when I was coming up with my plan, I came up with 3 things that I need to do in order to reach a $10,000 sales month. And I'm going to be going more in depth in these throughout the video, but just to give you guys a little overview, number 1 is to get my eBay game on par with my Poshmark sales. Poshmark is my main platform, and I cross-list everything onto both eBay, Mercari, and Tradesy. However, I definitely don't put as much energy into other platforms as I do onto Poshmark. I want to change that this year, and I will definitely share with you guys how I plan on doing that. Number 2 kind of goes hand in hand with number 1, but it is to delegate more tasks to my VA so that she can handle some of the more tedious aspects of my business, and I can focus on the funner things like sourcing, creating content, and just kind of free up some time for myself to explore other aspects of my business and of my life. And the third thing that I need to do is get a better understanding of my sales data across all platforms. Not just Poshmark, not just one platform, but across everything that I'm doing. So that's going to be including any pop-ups that I do or any new platforms that might pop up. I started analyzing more of my sales data last year, but I know that there's a lot more that I need to understand and need to keep track of as time goes on so that I can know what to do to increase my sales and get to that $10,000. Now, I wouldn't be able to do any of these 3 things without the help of today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Vendoo. If you aren't familiar with Vendoo, they are a cross-listing service. I've spoken about them before on my channel, but they were definitely one of my top favorite reselling tools in 2021, and I'm sure that that's going to continue on in 2022. Last year though, when I started using Vendoo, I was only really utilizing their cross-listing services. I wasn't taking advantage of all of the features that they have to offer. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over what some of those features are and how I'm going to be taking advantage of them moving on to the new year and using those tools to help me reach my goal of $10,000 in 1 month. If you guys are interested in checking out Vendoo, you can sign up using my link down below. You can also use my code PARADIGMTHRIFTS for a discount off of your first month. Now getting back into those 3 things that I said I needed to do, I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth in each point. So if you guys want to take out a notebook or something and maybe take notes, now is your time. You can go ahead and pause the video now, grab some paper and a pen, and come back. The first thing that I said I needed to do was to get my eBay sales on par with Poshmark. After looking at my total sales from last year and just seeing the whole breakdown of what platforms I was mostly selling on, I found out that 77% of my sales came from Poshmark and only 6% of my sales came from eBay, which I honestly thought I was doing better on eBay, but apparently not that great. eBay is definitely intimidating for anybody who is coming from Poshmark. I have definitely had my fair share of freakouts trying to even understand the platform, but I will say that the more you spend time on there, even just trying to sell things through trial and error, the easier it gets. I've been very fortunate that I've been able to reach out to a few other resellers to ask for help. There's plenty of videos on YouTube as well explaining how to get the most out of eBay. So if you guys want some of my tips, I don't have many, but maybe in a few months I'll be able to make a video sharing some more eBay tips for you guys. But let me know down below if that's something that you guys want to see from me. So like I said, I spend most of my time, effort, focus, energy on Poshmark, and I want to switch that up this year. I've implemented automation systems into my business, i.e. using Posher VA, a bot, to share my closet, send out offers to likers, and to just run a whole bunch of the really tedious tasks that I don't want to perform. So I feel like now that I have that system running and going smoothly, I'll be able to take a step back from that part of my business and focus my energy on other parts. When it comes to listing, I was actually listing all of my items first onto Poshmark and then importing them onto the Vendoo platform and then cross-listing the items from there to all the other platforms that I list on. Going into 2022, I'm going to switch that up a little bit. Instead, I'm going to be creating drafts in Vendoo. So actually starting the listings inside of Vendoo and then having my VA create the listing and post them onto other platforms. That brings me to my second point, and that was to delegate more tasks to my VA. Currently, my VA just cross-lists for me through Vendoo. I hate cross-listing. That's probably one of my least favorite activities as a reseller. So I hired somebody on through Upwork to cross-list all of my items from Vendoo onto eBay, onto Tradesy, and onto Mercari. But moving forward, I actually want her to do a little bit more work. I have her working part-time for me right now. We have been talking about her starting to create drafts. So I'm actually going to show you guys on my phone really quick how I plan on doing that. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my iPhone screen here. I'm just using Vendoo through my phone's browser. If you have any smartphone, this will work. But I'm going to go to this plus button on the bottom to create a new listing. I'm going to go up to use a template. I've created a template in here. This is actually a newer feature that Vendoo offers. You can create different templates depending on what the item is so that all of your listings are the same. So I'm going to show you what my template looks like. This is how I have it so that my VA knows exactly what to put in the title and in the description of all of my listings. So it has here in the title, it says brand, style name, descriptive features, category, color, and size. And then in the description, there are some other options that I want her to fill out. So it'll be very easy for her to create these listings. She is going to have to do some research on her own, but this is going to be a lot easier for her to do than to just kind of make it up on her own. So once I have that there, I'm going to go to upload photos, and you're gonna see some of my photo library, but I'm going to just add some of these photos that I've already taken. And when I'm uploading the photos, I want to make sure that I have all of the tags and everything in the photo so that my VA can look off of those things and fill in all of the description. And then after that, that's literally all I'm gonna do. So once it's done uploading, I'm just gonna press save. And then I'm gonna go back into my inventory, and you can look under drafts, and it's going to be right there under drafts. So now when my VA logs into my Vendoo account, she'll be able to go into my drafts, see all of the new items that I have in there, and then fill out those items. This is gonna save me so much time because I won't have to do any brand research, I won't have to look up stock photos, I won't have to do any of that. I'm going to just delegate all of those tasks onto her, and it's gonna free up time for me to do more sourcing and, like I said, to focus my attention on other parts of my business. And the third thing that I really need to do in order to make my $10,000 sales month a reality is to get a better understanding of my numbers. And I'm going to be doing this using Vendoo Analytics. This is one of the coolest parts of Vendoo, I have to be honest. I was not taking advantage of this last year because I was using a different software to track my sales, but this year I'm really going to take advantage of all of the data that it has to offer. I'm going to go over my numbers with you guys so you will see my real numbers. Don't judge, they're not that great for the beginning of this year, but I just wanted to give you guys some insight on how I'm going to be tracking my sales data. So if you guys can see, this is my current Vendoo homepage, I guess you can say. I am going to be going over here under analytics so that you can see my numbers. So this is just from the past 7 days, from January 1st to January 7th. It shows here the revenue and profit, it shows a summary of what sold, and then if you look down here, you can see a breakdown of what platforms you're selling on most. As you can see here, I've done a way better job of evening out my sales between eBay and Poshmark. Of course, it's only been 1 week, so we'll see how long I can keep this going. It also shows you the top selling categories and the top selling subcategories, top selling brands, average sale price by market. As you can see here, there's just so much data that you can really dissect to get a better understanding of how you're running your business and what areas of your business you should pay more attention to. So I'm going to go back up here to the revenue and profit section, and the main number that I want to focus on right here is this right here. So this is the average sale price. So as you guys know, I'm trying to reach $10,000 in sales. In order for me to reach that, I have to know how many listings I need to get up in order to sell enough items to make that money. So the most important number here that I want to share with you guys is my average sale price. So as you can see here, my average sale price is $32.49. This is a really low number compared to what I'm used to and also what I'm aiming for. In order for me to figure out how many items I need to process and list and sell in order to make that $10,000, there are a couple numbers that I need to pay attention to. So this is where I said you can substitute in your own numbers. If you guys don't know your average sale price and you aren't using Vendoo currently to track your sales or to figure that out, you can easily figure it out by dividing your total sales by the amount of items that you sold, and that will give you your average sale price. So as you can see here, my average sale price for the first week of January was $32.49. This is pretty low for me. My sales haven't been that great this past week. I honestly have been kind of focusing on other things other than reselling in the past couple days, which isn't great, but it's okay. So to figure out how many items I need to sell, I'm going to take my goal of $10,000 and divide it by my average sale price of $32.81, and I'm going to come up with $304. Just because I list something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell. So even if I only listed 304 items, that doesn't ensure that all of that is going to sell and that it's going to sell for the amount that I need to. So this is where I bring in another number, and that is my sell-through rate. This number for me isn't 100% accurate just because I wasn't tracking everything in my business. This is kind of just like a ballpark figure. You can find your sell-through rate by taking the number of items that you sold in a month and dividing it by the number of items you listed that month. That will give you your sell-through rate. The sell-through rate that I'm using right now is 31%. That, like I said, it's not 100% accurate, but it is kind of close to what I'm used to. So with that sell-through rate, if I take that 304 items and I divide it by the sell-through rate of 31%, that gives me 980 items that I need to process and list in order to hopefully sell 304 items. And that's not something that I'm capable of doing for multiple reasons. First of all, I don't have enough cash flow or means to buy over 1,000 items a month. If I was shopping at the bins regularly, then that might be doable, but that's just not part of my business plan. Also, I don't have space to store 980 items. My current inventory right now is only around 700 items, and I'm like at max capacity. So there's definitely some things that I need to figure out with this. For one, I need to increase my average sale price, because if I'm selling my items for more, then that means I don't have to sell as many items to get to my goal. I also need to work on my sell-through rate. Like I said, I don't think that this number is accurate, so I'm gonna have to go through my numbers again and recalculate what my sell-through rate is. But if I can make sure that I'm sourcing better items that are going to sell quicker, then that's going to increase my sell-through rate as well. Unfortunately, Vendoo does not track your sell-through rate, which I'm hoping that they add soon. I feel like that would be a huge help for us resellers to know what is selling, how fast things are selling, and really keep track of that. But as you can see from these numbers, this is why this is such like a big scary goal for me. It's gonna take a lot more than just these 3 steps in order for me to reach that goal. There's a lot that goes into like my sourcing decisions and just a bunch of other things that go on in the background. And also, just because I'm aiming for $10,000 in sales in a month doesn't mean that I'm going to be pocketing $10,000, although I wish that were true. Hopefully with this $10,000, I'll at least be able to profit 5,000 from that. That's like kind of the goal. 5,000 to 6,000. It would probably be more. Just depends on how much I'm spending on inventory and all of that. But that is kind of my whole game plan on how I'm going to be using Vendoo to reach a $10,000 sales month. I think I can do it. I'm feeling very confident about this goal just because I have so many systems and plans on how I'm going to make it happen. I'm not just shooting in the dark. I'm really creating actionable steps in order to get there, and also having some time until October 2022 is going to give me the ability to build up my closet, build up my sales, and also learn from my mistakes. So anyway, that is it for today's video. I hope that this was informative. I hope that this can maybe help you guys figure out a plan to achieve your sales goals for this year. Like I said before, if you guys want to share what your goals are, leave them down in the comments. I would love to read through them. I would really appreciate it if you hit that red subscribe button down below. I'm not going to be posting any more videos this month, but I already have so many ideas for videos coming February, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Again, thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Vendoo. If you guys want to check them out, everything is linked down below. But if you have any questions about Vendoo or about anything that I talked about today, feel free to reach out to me via Instagram or even through email. I have all of my contact information in the description box. So I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!